It just never gets old, man.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
like
I love it. I
we
love it.
never age. We never
Yeah.
age on the intro. We need to get a new intro though. We'll work on that. Stu, it might feel a little off topic because, well, in a couple 3 days, it's the 250th birthday of America. Just want to say, do you remember in 1976? You would have been what? You 7? I was 8.
7. Yeah.
And do
7.
you
Yes.
remember all the bicentennial stuff?
I do, man. I was in a bicentennial parade. I went as a pilgrim. I was dressed up
Dude, what the
pilgrim
hell did
style.
being a pilgrim have to do with the bicentennial? That
I
doesn't
was
make any sense.
colonial. I look colonial.
Okay, well, there's a
Dressed
difference between
colonial.
colonial and a pilgrim, dude.
I didn't know the difference. I was
It was
7.
leftover Thanksgiving
Somebody
costumes. It's
told me
like
somebody told me I was a pilgrim. I'm like, okay.
throw the Smith kid in the pilgrim costume and throw him out there. We got one extra. We got the extra float from Thanksgiving. But here's the thing. When I say the word evergreen, what
Mm.
does that make you think of?
Well, obviously, if you put something out there, oh, evergreen, I
I was
think of the
thinking
tree.
Christmas.
The tree is evergreen. I got a
Right,
pine tree in my backyard. It's always green,
right.
no matter
Ever
what season, no matter what year.
Yeah, that's
It's
when you
the
hear the
same.
word
Yeah,
evergreen, it makes
yeah,
me think of evergreen trees, which makes me think of Christmas, which
yeah.
makes me think of presents, which makes me think of getting an amazing gift. And we got to talk about evergreen, but we're talking about evergreen webinars.
Okay,
Now, yeah, you like the transition?
okay.
So it's like, what do y'all think of when I say evergreen? And people are like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Jim. I'm just so my engagement strategy just went straight to hell from last week.
Mm.
Um, when I say evergreen webinar, what does that make you think of?
Um, it has no date to it. Like there's nothing in it that makes you think this was 2021 vintage.
Okay, 2021 vintage.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Um, so there are no dates. What else? What else do you think of? Something's evergreen. That's good. I like the way you're thinking. What else?
Yeah, no dates, no I guess no real discussions of seasons and it is kind of neutral in anything that would be a giveaway that this was filmed 5 years ago
Okay. Or 5 days ago.
or 5 days ago. Yeah.
So we're hosed right here of doing this evergreen because what did I reference? I referenced not just that it's July 1st,
Oh yeah, we talked about close to
but
yep.
the 250. So it's not like we could whip this out next July 1st. But man, those dudes never seem to age. But it must be July 1st ish.
Yeah.
We're hosed.
Yeah, we
So
don't we
you're,
don't have an evergreen podcast today.
yeah, but it's neutral of news. Yeah, people are like,
Yeah.
is this live? Hey, dude, I'm alive right now. I tell you that. It's neutral of news, any type of cultural stuff, definitely politics. Well,
Oh
there's
yeah.
another, we never talk. What are the big things we never talk about, Stu? Politics, religion,
Those are usually my two. Is there a
sex.
third?
I don't know. Sex, yes, please. What movie is that from? Do you know what movie that's from?
I don't.
Austin Powers.
Oh, goodness.
Uh, news, culture, politics. I don't know. Y'all tell me in the chat what else. But it's done in such a way. An evergreen webinar is done in such a way that nobody knows that it's not real or it's not recent. Now, that's different than trying to do something as fake live.
Mm.
That's where you start getting into trouble. I'm not a big believer in fake live webinars. And I know that there are some services out there where they try to fool you into thinking that a webinar is live. And some of them are actually pretty good. I mean, I've seen them over the years, the bad ones, the good ones, the and all the ones in between. And they try and fool you with, hey, the webinar's this Friday and or this Thursday, and so it automatically replenishes or replaces the dates, and then it puts in all the different dates and does all this, and then it's trying to fool you into thinking that something is live. And the problem with that is that if you're playing it up as if it's live and then someone finds out it's not live, what does that do to your credibility instantly?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that would be he's lying to us.
Right.
What else he lying about?
100%. You nailed it.
Yeah,
He's lying to us about this. What else is he lying to us about? Your host. So one of the things that you do is it's fine to use those dates. It's fine to have stuff automatically do dates and insert dates and stuff, but treat it more like a broadcast. If you treat it, okay, this is a broadcast, check out the broadcast, be there for the broadcast, that kind of a thing, I think you do better. You don't piss people off. It's fine to have dates. I know the guy that created it, he since sold it, but there is still a service called Deadline Funnel that does a pretty good job of enforcing real deadlines around broadcast webinars, evergreen webinars. When somebody sees it, it locks them in so that you can they can't get around the fact that you have the deadline stuff in there. I believe that Go High Level has some stuff built into it, at least with some countdown timers and other things that will allow you to be able to do it. But the biggest thing is that I'm perfectly fine with you doing a broadcast or doing a replay or something where the deadlines are real, where the things that the disappearing bonuses really disappear. My only problem with it is if it's bullshit. So if there's really a deadline, that's great. You don't have to be there live to teach the thing. Some people have to pre-record stuff because they're just, I've known people that were so scared of the thought of something being live that they would freeze. But they did great when they thought it was a rehearsal or they knew it was just being a recording and nobody was watching them. So sometimes things happen. There are medical things. Things pop up, vacations, just stuff happens. You have to pre-record stuff. But as long as you're not, oh, this is live, we're really live, then that's the only thing I have a problem with. But if you have a deadline, the deadline has to be real. If you have a limited quantity, it has to be real. If you have anything like disappearing bonuses, they have to really disappear. So that the only difference between the webinar being live and not being live is the fact that it's live or not live. If that makes, I don't mean to have a politician's word salad on that thing. But if everything else is equal, except for the fact that instead of you performing it live, where we're live right now, but does it matter whether this is replay, whether this is pre-recorded or not? I haven't made any representation one way or another. So that's what matters. So let's talk about, and again, let me ask you this. We hit on a couple of things, but we'll look at it from a different way. If you are doing something as evergreen and you do have positive intentions, and you're not trying to mislead people. What are the things that you would have to make sure that you didn't do so that you didn't accidentally make somebody think you were trying to deceive them? Well, you wouldn't have any seasonal stuff. You wouldn't mention any. Now, if it's truly evergreen, now, if it's just a pre-recorded broadcast, all this stuff is fine. If you knew, hey, I'm just doing this one time and I'm doing it as a broadcast, none of this actually applies.
Right.
But if you know, hey, I'm doing this to do it evergreen, I'm going to be, it's going to be available anytime, then there aren't any dates. There's no seasonal stuff. Don't mention news, cultural things, politics, that kind of stuff. And if you're going to do it, the single biggest place that I see people screwing up is with the dates and the references inside of their emails. That is the single biggest place where you're going to trip on yourself when you're actually creating this, when you're creating the evergreen stuff. Because on your website, on the page where people are opting in, you don't have to put you can just have today's date appear, right? So if it's available anytime. So you have two choices when you're doing an evergreen. How many choices, Stu?
2.
Okay. The first choice is no dates, no references. What does that mean? Well, that's exactly what we did with the evergreen webinar that we did for funnel scripts. I'll even show you the page for funnel scripts, and you can see that there was absolutely, all right, got a promise. It just says class begins today at 10:50 a.m. So 10:50 a.m. Okay. So 10:50 a.m. That's in about 6 minutes. So it's like it just would start every 10 or 15 minutes. All right. And that's it. That's
really cool.
That's the whole page. All right. You click here, grab your seat, you sign up, you go in.
Huh.
All right. Secure your spot now. And it's telling you check your thing. And this is when it's going to start. Then you're going to get the email. You click the link, you go over and watch the thing, you get the pitch. All the follow-up stuff is based on when you signed up.
Huh.
So, hey, yesterday you did the thing. If you missed it, go here, watch the replay, all that good stuff. That's one way. It's the simplest way, the easiest way of doing it. You don't need to get complicated. Now, the other way to do it is to do it with all your dates relative to the sign up date. So that means in your emails, the email they get as soon as they sign up is basically day 0. And then, so it references whatever today's date, sign up date plus, and this depends on what system you're using and stuff like that. But it's basically today's date. And then and then tomorrow, if you're going to put dates and days and other stuff like that, then tomorrow the email would be today's date, and then referencing different stuff. And you just have to understand where you are in the sequence. This is harder and easier. This is harder to do, even though it's relatively simple, but it's a lot easier to just screw up and have people get funkied up on it. Okay. I would say your best bet is just to keep it relative. Today they get the email, go check it out. Tomorrow they get an email with the quote unquote replay, and you say, hey, yesterday you signed up, not if you saw it, go ahead and watch it. Then the next day they get an email and it's like, hey, a couple days ago you did this, wanted to follow up, make sure you saw that. And that's the easiest way to do it. Then what happens is these people end up in your main broadcast pool, and they either bought or they didn't, and then they become part of your ecosystem until they leave or unsubscribe. That is the simplest way of doing it, and the simplest way is usually the best way. Now, there's a third way that you can do this if you're doing advertising or stuff that you're not just limited to your email list or social media or stuff like that. Another way to do it, which you can test, is to aim at a specific day and time each week. So it's like everything, just like as if you were doing it live. If you were doing it live, you have to have a date and a time for people to show up. So Stu and I are going to be going live on Thursday at 11 o'clock Eastern, and we're going to be teaching you 5 secrets to evergreen webinars. And so everything is done with that being the target. So all your ads are driving people to that date and time. All of your emails are based on them having been there on that date and time. And then the following week or however you rotate it, when you start over again, everything just starts over again. All your ads are saying, hey, it's this Thursday at 11. It's this Thursday at 11. It's this Thursday at 11. And then all of this stuff, the only time it plays is Thursday at 11. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. So that can be really successful depending on your audience, depending on where they are in the world, depending on, it just depends. In other cases, doing like what we're doing here on this thing I showed you, having it start every 10 minutes, somebody can, they know they can jump in on it, but it creates that urgency of, every 10 minutes. So what questions, what thoughts do you have, Stu?
I've as you showed me that, I have
Uh-huh.
been going like 100 miles an hour thinking I could set up one of my courses that way. That makes a lot of sense. And
Uh-huh.
like do a free course, right? Just I mean not a big one, like maybe a 60-minute course
Mm-hmm.
or webinar or whatever. You call it whatever these days. Um no, I kind of went on a tangent inside my own brain of like I'm going to figure this out.
Right.
So, yeah. No, I just like that so much that it
It's a more formalized version of a replay, if you
yeah.
really want to think
Yes.
about it that way.
I love it. Yeah.
It's not, hey, I got this replay that you can watch anytime you want to.
Right.
It's, hey, I've got this webinar, I've got this training. You can sign up for it, and it's got all the rigmarole attached to it rather than just here's a link, you can watch a replay of what we did.
Right. Yeah, and it's a lead generator,
Correct.
Yeah.
And it just feels more formalized
No, it's
than
great.
than not.
You know what? It looks professional.
Right.
I can give away a course, with an attached email,
Right.
right? This looks really cool though.
But if you had something, and it helps also if you've got something on the back end of it. I mean, this is a lot of times this is for sales webinars. This isn't
Right.
this we're not really talking about paid training type of thing, because that's, you're just selling access to the replay. This
Right.
is more formalizing something. But if let's say you did a really cool Q&A, a really cool presentation /Q&A, for your for the, I don't know, around Never Quit Mindset.
Never Quit Mind. Yeah.
Okay. So you got a little bit of a presentation, then you got some Q&A, and it just, you did it live and it just really worked. You did this thing. It's like, shit, everybody bought. Well, now you could put up on StuSmithFitness.com either an exit pop or as part of your follow-up sequence or as a free add-on. Every single person that buys, it's like, hey, click here to add this, you know, the Never Quit fundamentals presentation, 60-minute presentation I did on the fundamentals of the Never Quit mindset. Get it free today with your thing. And then, or you could have it be a free offer on the website, you know, sign up now this month, get access to this training for free. Just give me your name and email. So there's a lot of stuff you can do, but it makes it more valuable. It makes it more important. It puts it front and center. It's not just another replay. Well, shit, I can go to YouTube and watch replays all day long.
Right.
And so that's anyway, that's,
it's getting eyeballs on your stuff just in a different, more professional manner.
And it's raising the importance level of it.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you can do is, and I'm going to do a quick little demo for you. This past month, we released or I guess it was month before last, actually. Man, they're going quick, Stu. Awesome. We released the Sales Webinar Genie. And so this does a lot for you. It helps you create your entire sales webinar, all your PowerPoints, all that good stuff. And it also creates all of your promo materials. And so one of the things that you can do is we can download, I didn't do all of them, but we can download all your promo materials for a webinar. And the thing is, this was done with all of the dates of 7/23/2026. But I can go through, and let's get down to the replay ones. I got my promo emails, but let's go down to the replay. Okay. So I'm just going to have it do it for a couple of them. I'm going to come over here into Genie Chat. And I'm going to tell it, take these 2 emails for a webinar that I did live and help me to make them evergreen so that they don't mention any dates or specific cultural or other things that would tip people off that it wasn't live, and rewrite them while still keeping them exciting for people who attended the evergreen event. Now I'm going to mess around with turning that into a Genie prompt pack, but let's just see what it comes back with. And I should have checked that because that looks better when it's formatting. But I just want to, see, this would be an easy way to help you to evergreen those things. So if we look at the first one, here's the replay, watch while it's available, replay available for a limited time. Now that's true, okay? Someday the earth will end, electricity will not be here anymore. Thanks for joining the webinar. The replay is ready for you to watch. Tune in to continue building a paid training that delivers real results. If you missed anything, the replay is available for a limited time. And if you want to create impactful training, there's 30 days, replay, fastest way. Make sure okay. So before the replay expires. All right. So watch soon, everyone soon, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this is something, again, it's just stripping the stuff out, stuff you might miss where you're tired or you're busy or both. And so I'm going to, I mean, this is a quickie way of doing it. You use the Genie to create all the cool stuff, but then instead of struggling to make it evergreen, we can use Genie Chat to help us to really make it evergreen without having to sweat so hard. And I'm, like I said, I'm going to create a Genie prompt pack that will help to be able to make that even easier. So anyway, kind of cool.
Very much so.
Yeah, it's one of those things where everybody's like, I got to create an evergreen webinar. And I can tell you from personal experience, if you get an evergreen webinar that really hits, that really works, you can generate a lot of money. A lot. I mean, a lot of money. But it is not as easy as the gurus make it out to be. And if you take nothing else away from today's podcast, it's to keep it freaking simple. Do not try to do a fake live webinar. Do a broadcast webinar that's available evergreen and play up the things that make people want to get the result and to take action now that are legit and won't come back and bite you in the butt. That would be the biggest thing I would want you to take away.
I love it.
Cool. So if they want to get in shape, Stu, where should they go?
Stu Smith Fitness. You can find this there.
All right. Awesome.
Using visual aids, Jim. Using visual aids now.
There you go. Nice work. And that's not even AI that helped you do that. Sure. And if you want to have access to the tools that we've shown, you want to get a whole lot of really great training on the topics that we cover, have access to the Genies and a rich resource of all kinds of stuff, check out CopyandContent.AI. And if you're already a member, we appreciate you. Everybody have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.